So, no proper video today, and I know I missed one in the week as well. There's a lot going on, it's seriously busy here. Part of the reason for nothing today is obviously I've had to do the remembrance stuff this morning, and this piece of junk has been driving me up the wall. So this is a customer's machine. It's a very, very elderly HP system. It's a Pentium 4 generation Xeon. It has 256 megs of RAM. SCSI drives, SCSI 2 drives up front in a drive cage with SCAR connectors on, and then it starts to go downhill. We've got USB ports that don't seem to support booting anything better than USB 2, so we can put one of our USB 3 drives in there or one of the slightly older USB 3 drives and it will refuse to see them. Low RAM means we can't boot anything on Windows PE, we can't boot most live distributions. We're really restricted on what we can do. If we try anything that looks even slightly strange, so EFI or NTFS based boots, it doesn't boot. We have two controllers in here, an Adaptec controller and an LSI Logic. The LSI Logic runs the tape drive, the Adaptec runs the hard drive. So far we have managed to get Clonezilla to boot, and Clonezilla then did a clone for us, and the resultant clone was useless. So we're now trying to do images, and I think that actually is getting to the point where it's getting towards the end of that now. But in order to do that, we've had to power this machine on. It's currently doing nothing other than supplying power to the cage, and then we have this comes up into our clone machine onto an Adaptec 2940. And this, of course, being a modern i7, will boot from anything. So hopefully this SSD will contain an image at the end of this. We're doing something. That looks like we're doing the main file system. Oh, that's going to be slow as hell. Once that's all done, we also have to bear in mind that the drive in this machine, which is tucked up under there, is dying, and we are getting seek errors on it occasionally. And to add fun to this as well, the customer complained that the fan had stopped. That's a new one, that's the old one, and when we actually looked at it closely, if I zoom you in, it's actually the fan controller that's gone. That cap has popped, and then if we look down here behind the memory, there is a cap in the middle. You can just about see it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one along from where those two regulators are. That's also popped, so this machine is very much now treat like eggs. Sooner or later this is going to fail to boot, and I'm having to reboot and reboot and reboot this thing. This is running Red Hat 7. It's running a piece of software called Xeris, which is so old that my father remembers working with it, and it has all of the customer's data, all of the customer's stock control and everything on. Now the data's backed up, that's not a problem. The Xeris directory is backed up. However, this has some form of copy control on it, which is not amenable to doing a file level copy of everything. So we're hoping that by picking the entire drive up as an image, the copy control will go with it. It's going to be moved onto a VMware box. Of course, once it's on a VMware box, we can copy our MAC address, and we can mess around to some extent with serial numbers and other things, and hopefully we can get that running. But this is the first step in a big, long, complicated chain, because once that's done, we need to get VMware polystyrene airplane. We need to get VMware installed on that, and then we need to get that image onto that VMware box, which is going to be non-trivial because VMware is an arse when it comes to mounting USB storage. So that will need to be copied somewhere, probably copied back over NFS, or possibly I believe Clonezilla can do SSH access. That image needs to be put back into a fresh virtual machine, and then hopefully we can start unpicking it and trying to get this thing boot. So nothing in here is guaranteed to work at all, and it may be that we're going to come down to the fact that we're going to have to try and find a replacement device that's fairly close to this, or even replace the board. Now, I don't know how the security for Xeris works. It could be tied to the MAC address, it could be just block level security, in which case the image will catch it, but VMware converters certainly wouldn't touch it. So, yeah, the whole lot is driving me absolutely insane. I am thoroughly bored of it, and I'd really much rather be doing something else with my Sunday. Anyway, take care.